I have something that I've written down on two pieces of paper that I feel that all Canadians really need to listen to. So I'm going to write down what I have written, and then I'm going to talk about what I've written. So it goes, how much longer and what else needs to be done in order to satisfy what these Canadian libtard politicians from Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, these left-wing libtard politicians consider as doing something for the third world countries and giving all our tax dollars to third world countries. I mean, my God, you got politicians like Justin Trudeau, Paul Martin, Jean Chrétien, even Brian Mulroney always used to raise our taxes, cut benefits for us, but give our tax dollars to other countries in an attempt to do something for the third world countries. We got to do something for the third world. We got to give our tax dollars to the third world. I mean, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, throughout the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, and even today with the long-haired Matt Daddy, which has made it even worse, it's always been, we got to give our tax dollars to the third world. I mean, Justin the long-haired Matt Daddy gives billions of our tax dollars to other countries, running around here, giving all our money to any third world nation where there's a black face. And what I want to know, when are third world countries going to do something for themselves? I mean, all right, okay. We gave money to Europe and Japan after World War II when we bombed them back to the Stone Ages. But my God, the Japanese and the Europeans have turned around and rebuilt themselves, selling all y'all Canadians BMWs and Toyotas and Camrys and everything else. Well, when are the third world nations going to turn around after all of our tax dollars we give them? When are they going to do something for themselves? When are they going to do something for themselves? I mean, all this stuff about paying Jordan money to build a road, giving our tax money to the third world, giving our tax money to the third world. I mean, when in the hell is the third world going to turn around and do something for themselves except sit around and wait for Canada to do something for them for the last 150 years? All right, so we gave Indonesia billions of dollars for infrastructure. Now we give Jordan money for a road. I mean, and then we cut the benefits. We cut the benefits for our most vulnerable Canadians. We get rid of the benefits for diabetics, the tax benefits diabetics used to receive, the tax benefits that mentally ill people used to receive, the elite soldiers that we have. If they get injured and they don't return to work within 180 days, then their pay gets taken away from them. Our natives living with poisonous water, we don't give them nothing. No penny, not a penny has been given to fix them, but we give everything to the third world. I mean, is this what it will take? Is this what it'll take? Is this what it will take to do something for the third world? Is this what it will take for the third world to finally do something for themselves? Is this what it'll take? Giving the clothes, giving the underwear, giving the Tampax off of our pussy. Is that what it's going to take for the third world to finally do something for themselves? So you got the long-haired Matt Daddy. He's taking away benefits from diabetics, mentally ill, as I just said, telling elite soldiers who are injured but don't return to work with after 180 days, they get their pay taken away, but then turn around and gives billions to African and Middle Eastern nations to help them with their food crisis, and now gives money to Jordan to help them fix a road. When is the third world, after all that's been done for them, after all the tax money for infrastructure and housing, all the money dumped into investment programs, and all the money for Pampers and condoms and goat milk and peanut butter and pig's feet and pork in a can, when is the third world going to do something for themselves? I mean, what is going on? I mean, what? And when are Canadians from Toronto to Montreal, to Halifax and New Glasgow and Pictou and Calgary and Saskatchewan and Baffin Island and Moose Jaw gonna get tired of their taxes going to the third world to make the third world better, but the third world never seems to get better no matter how much money we give to the third world never seems to get better. It always gets worse. They're killing each other over there. They're slaughtering each other over there up in the Middle East and in Africa. Look at Syria. Look at Iraq. Look at Zimbabwe. Look at South Africa. Look at all these countries. We give all this money to the third world and they don't get any better. They just get worse. When are Canadians going to get tired of this? You're putting your money in a black hole, Canadians. You're putting your money in a black hole. You're putting your money in a black hole. By giving all your tax dollars to all these third world nations, you're just giving your money to a black hole. Might as well burn your money. Might as well take your tax dollars and throw it in a fire, because that's what you're doing, giving your money to these damn third world countries that don't seem to get any better, but seem to always get worse. I mean, and it's mostly, you talk to a Canadian. It's like talking to a brick wall. Oh, well, we were discriminatory. Well, you shut up. Oh, well, we took the land from the natives and we enslaved black. God almighty. You say that one more time, I'm going to choke you. Say that one more time. You say that one more time, I'm going to choke that tongue out your Tim Hortons coffee drinking, maple syrup eating mouth. And I'm sorry, dear Lord. I'm sorry to say that I will choke someone. I'm not really going to choke him. I'm just tired of these Canadians. I'm tired of these damn Canadians always giving their money to the third world. Meanwhile, we have homeless people who are dying on the streets, freezing to death. Nobody gives a crap about them. Native people living with poisonous water. They dying. Babies, they drinking the poisonous water. They're dying. No Canadian cares about them. No Canadian gives a damn about them, but we giving our money to the third world. For 150 friggin' years, we giving our money to the third world. But the third world doesn't seem to get any better. It just gets worse and worse. I mean, I like the old days when the liberals used to give their money to the lazy bum sleeping in the basement, sleeping in his house till 3 o'clock in the morning, living in his parents' basement, stinking up his parents' bathroom, doing nothing for himself. I remember the old days when Canadians used to give the liberals used to give all the tax dollars to the bum here in Canada, but at least we gave the money to Canadians. Now we're giving our money to the third world and they don't even get any better. They're just getting worse. And these third world countries don't even like us. They'll blow our asses up if they had the opportunity. I mean, Canadians, are you that pathetic? Are you that sad and weak and pathetic that you would forsake your own country? You would vote for a man who would literally take from the most vulnerable people, diabetics, mentally ill, the soldiers, our veterans who protect us, take money from them when they're at their lowest, but give that money to third world countries that never seem to get better. No matter how much you give them, no matter how much 3 acres and a mule you give them, they only seem to get worse. They just seem to get worse and more violent and more arrogant. Come on, Canadians. And it's mostly white Canadians too. Yeah, you can get mad at me all you want for saying it. You can say I'm racist all you want, but it's mostly these white, weak Canadians. What's wrong with you crackers, man? Come on. You don't see America doing this. You don't see Europe doing this, even though they're starting to do this. It's only the Canadians who take their money, their tax dollars. We pay some of the highest taxes on earth. Taxes are the most expensive things for Canadians, and we pay it like the bitches we are, and that money just goes to the third world. We gotta give our money to the third world. So how about this? This is what I think we should do. We should go the way of colonialism. You watch, we should go back to colonialism. If the third world keeps getting all our money, we should go back to colonialism, and Canada take all these third world countries and turn them into colonies and territories, just like British India and South Africa and Nigeria Just like that, we have a Canadian empire and we colonialize, and you'll see how quickly the third world prospers. You'll see how quickly people in the third world are prosperous, stop living barefoot and hungry and poor, and all these corrupt politicians are in jail where they belong or hanging by a tree, and you'll see how quickly the third world becomes rich and prosperous. If they can't if they can't survive without Canadians always dishing out tax dollars, maybe we should go back to the colonial days, the British Empire. Maybe we should go back to that. Maybe we should go back to that. If they can't rely on themselves and they can only rely on us, maybe we should go back to colonialism. Amen? Boom shakalaka. This is the Arana nation. Canada, you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up. You gotta grow a spine. This is my country. Stop paying all your tax dollars to third world countries. And you know how much money that the third world has gotten from us? Trillions. And they still aren't even better. They get actually, the more money you give them, the worse they become. Look at them. You turn on the television, the third world is a shit show right now. Who would want to go to Afghanistan or Syria or Iraq or any country in Africa with maybe the exception of Kenya? I mean, all these countries are just getting worse, no matter how much Canada gives. But the long-haired Mac Daddy, oh, please, he don't care about Canadians. He don't care about natives living with poisonous water or he doesn't have two qualms about taking money from diabetics and mentally ill people and taking money from elite soldiers who are injured and don't return to work within 180 days. He'll give all of our tax dollars to the third world. So in order to stop this crap, we got to stop electing politicians like Justin DeLong and Mac Daddy. No more money to the third world.